Hi guys, Monkey's Nutscon here. This is just going to be a little vlog basically discussing technology. And I don't know why my voice went really high then. A bit odd. Yeah, well, what I mean with technology is the modernisation and the regularity, the familiarity that kids have with sort of technology nowadays, and basically how quick they are to adapt to it and get used to it. I was sort of like brought up just basically just before all this technology was introduced, but I'm still able to get my grips with it fairly easily and things like that. But I think that's probably because I'm still young and I'm still able to learn all the different methods and stuff which you need basically to be able to operate it. And the massive lorry behind me who's straddling the oncoming lane as well. So yeah, today I'm on my way down to Denby, and I might go past Denby and sort of like have a little tool around there. So yeah, I can get to grips with technology quite easily, and when I say technology, I mean things like smartphones and tablets and things like that, going on the internet, how you use it, other stuff like that basically. But I mean, the main problem is that older people sort of like have quite different. They have difficulty getting to grips with how to, not the way that these things work, just how to use them basically. They haven't got like the fast reactions, and they're not able to get to grips with the technology as fast, sort of like kids nowadays are. One thing that I don't approve of is that parents nowadays, they tend to give their kids access to these. It's like they give the kids sort of like smartphones and mobile phones and stuff at the ages of sort of like under 10. I mean, yeah, it helps them get to grips with it, but if they're just looking at a screen all their life, it's not going to be helpful for them. I mean, these companies might say, oh yeah, but there's no life-changing no life-changing symptoms or anything. Yeah, there might not be sort of like physically to them, but mentally they're going to be incredibly depressed. They're going to be tired all the time. I mean, I get tired just from looking at my laptop all day, and that's like a good screen, and I can change the brightness, and I'm regularly getting up and having breaks from it. But if you put in poor young kids who sort of like don't really understand the difference through it, then you're not doing them any good, are you? I think parents nowadays just see mobile phones and things as an excuse to basically get their kids to shut up and just not have to look after them and concentrate on them as much. But saying that, I think kids they'd probably end up getting bored and stuff if they weren't sort of, if they weren't on the phone or anything all the time. And I think that's one of the main problems, one of the main mistakes or misinformities that's created. Basically, people think that if they're not on the phone or anything, they're just going to get bored all the time. But with kids anyway, they should be like with the family and stuff, and with the parents. If you're with them hanging out and stuff, and well, not hanging out, but if you're doing activities and stuff, it's like when I went on I just had a little short break down to Cornwall. I went down there really for a wedding, but we stayed over the weekend. And I had my laptop there, but I was only basically taking photos off my camera and videos off my camera and putting them on my laptop. I couldn't get access to the internet or anything because the place didn't have any Wi-Fi or anything. But that's the thing. I didn't have access to the internet. I only really went on my laptop in the afternoons to put the video footage on it. And I didn't miss not having the internet or anything. I didn't miss not speaking to my friends online. I didn't miss watching videos on YouTube or anything. I just hung out with my family most of the time. We did sort of like regular activities that families do. We had like little walks around towns and stuff, really pretty towns down there. We stayed right next to Newquay. So we went down to Penzance area, and then on the way home we stopped off at Padstow, and that was nice. We went go-karting near Newquay. We also what else did we do? We didn't really do that much. I think it was just the fact that we were going around, which was good. And we played mini golf at Padstow. I think that's pretty much it, really. We didn't do a lot, but we just went around and had a look at the nice scenery and stuff. Which to be honest, I've kind of come away from the wanting to do activities all the time type thing that sort of like kids want to do. I'm not too bothered about keeping active. I prefer just to go around and have a look at nice scenery and stuff and take pictures, and basically that's all that I enjoy doing now, really. But, yeah, it's difficult because if you've got young kids, you can probably easily find things to do for them. But if you've got kids who are sort of teenagers, or well, young teenagers, like 15, 16, it's difficult to please them, really. Pretty much every 15, 16-year-old nowadays is on Facebook, so they're probably constantly on that and looking for free Wi-Fi and stuff places, and just sitting down just there for hours just talking to their friends. But, that's another thing, these friends that are online, the ones on my Facebook page, not my YouTube, my actual Facebook page, all my friends I've either met at some point or I know are proper friends. I don't make a habit of adding people or getting friends, well, online friends with people who I don't know, because doing that can be obviously quite, it can be obviously a bit dodgy. But there's a banana skin there. Yeah, I've just left Denby. I'm heading towards Ruffin now on a little country road. Probably won't go to Ruffin. But this is basically a route that I sort of like regularly cycle whenever we go down to Ruffin. It's a nice little road, some nice scenery. It's good, it's quiet. Apart from when a white van and a yellow car come hurtling down the road. But yeah, so I've talked about kids and stuff. So with old people, you do get a couple of old people who sort of like, not a couple. You do get some old people who are sort of, they're okay online and using the internet and things and using technology. But I think with age, your interests tend to go towards more important things. So when you're a kid, all you're bothered about is just talking to your friends and stuff. When you get older, you get more responsibilities like family and work and things like that. So I think the main problem is people just don't have time for it anymore. I mean, when they're elderly, with all the new technology that's coming out nowadays, I mean, they're talking about the things that they're trying to get made, or well, not made, but they're in the process of creating sort of systems where you can, it's like, I think Google have done something where if you take a picture of something, of like a monument, it comes up with loads of information about what it is, how old it is, loads of like local information as well. And it can also pinpoint your exact position. Oh, there's a tractor. So yeah, so that technology is out there now, but I think what they're trying to do is sort of like, I think, a bit building it into things basically. So I think Google have come out with some glasses which basically do the same thing. I mean, they've got like little cameras in the arms and stuff. And then they just basically sort of like show things on your lenses out the corner of your eye, so it's not sort of like straight in the direction that you're looking. I mean, the ones I believe that the ones that the type of like style of glasses they did that with, I don't think they were very. I don't think they were very stylish. They looked more like laboratory professor type glasses. So they weren't. I mean, they probably worked fine. It's just they didn't look very good, to be honest. But I think something like that is a really good idea. The fact that you can interact with sort of like real life without having a remote in your hand or basically anything like that. Something that I'd personally like to see is things like Minority Report, the film Minority Report, where not the future type thing. I mean that is sort of really hitting the ball in the park and hoping that it goes somewhere, but it's no, I mean the actual screen that he was using. He had gloves on, which had little sensors in the fingertips. He was able to move the whole screen about and do things like that. The principle of that, I mean, to be honest, I don't think that kind of technology is far away. I mean, we've already got, I mean, they use it in films for CGI and stuff. They just put you in a suit and then just the camera sort of picks out where these balls and things are on you and these little sensors. So the actual technology we have is just putting it back into putting it into principle and stuff. I mean, they're coming out with smaller and smaller microchips that can hold more and more information, so the technology we've got, it's just a matter of basically putting it into mass production. I want to see if that road is actually closed. But I mean, something like that I'd probably really get into, because I like sort of moving about and doing things regularly. But I mean, I was sort of, I didn't have a lot of technology until recently, really. I mean, I've just bought myself an iPhone, which I've got to grips with really easily. Actually, I'm probably not gonna tell you that bloody bird. I've been getting to grips with technology now, because it's a lot easier really to get your hands on it nowadays. I mean, it's going down, it's cheaper and stuff. That road is shut. So yeah, getting your hands on technology, it's a lot easier. But I think certain things are starting to go old-fashioned. It's like you can't find any information on the first 2 iPhones now, the first 2 models of it. I mean, I don't know how long ago it was that sort of like the first iPhone was actually sort of released. I don't really know how to indicate that. But it must have been a pretty long time ago, basically, for all the information about them to disappear. And I mean information, basically, like actually buying them. There's none on eBay or anything. You can't get any of the user manuals now for it. It's just, you can't get anything that would fit it, like chargers and stuff. they're incredibly hard to come by now. But more and more new technology is coming out. I mean, one thing that sort of I really sort of like the look of, which unfortunately turned out to be a bit of an April Fool's type thing, was there was a promotional video for an iPhone 6. I don't know if it was an iPhone 6 or an iPhone 5. But basically, on this little video, it showed basically the iPhone breaking up. What I mean by breaking up is like it disassembling itself, not automatically, but you would have to pull parts out and just extend parts. But basically, you pulled it out, and there were like little projectors, little camera type things in the corners of the iPhone, which would project a keyboard, like a holographic keyboard, onto whatever surface your iPhone was on. And there were two at the front which would project a screen onto a wall or something. So it would effectively turn your iPhone into like a mobile laptop or a tablet. Something like that I really like the look of. But I since found out that that kind of stuff isn't really available yet. But I think something like that, I mean, I'd buy it. It'd be just a sort of like a massive hit. But it would probably come with a massive price. I'm thinking close to like £1,000 basically, just for a phone. Yes, it will have loads of features on it and stuff. I never really saw the point of the iPod, because I mean, when Apple came out with the iPhone, you can get iTunes and all kind. You can basically get everything you get on an iPod on an iPhone, as well as being able to call people. So I mean, that's why I didn't really understand why they came out with both of them. I think they were similarly priced as well, so it's just a bit pointless. But yeah, I mean, my a relative of the family he actually tried to get to grips with like a basic laptop, so we could go online and do his shopping and order it and stuff like that, without having to go to the shop. But I mean, he was okay, but he needed constant assistance. What I mean by that is he would keep ringing up my dad and asking for help and sort of like advice on what he should do and stuff like that. So it kind of got a bit annoying really, but he could do certain things. They also hold classes for elderly people to go and get to grips with like technology and stuff, and learn how to use things, which I think is probably really, really good. I think a lot of people go to them as well. But in classes for elderly people to get to grips with something like technology is really good, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's just the way things go, I suppose. But yeah, in terms of young versus old with regards to technology. I think there are disadvantages on, well, I think there's more disadvantages for really young kids sort of like having a go with technology than older people, basically. I think with older people, it's less. It's less likely to have an effect on them, really, because they're going to probably take that long to get used to the technology. They're not going to. There's going to be no sizable impacts to life. They're not going to become unsocial all of a sudden and just be on their phone all the time. I don't think that'd happen. I don't know anyone who's done that. But I do think giving really, really young children sort of like the first moment they talk this technology is quite bad, actually. I mean, what I mean is giving them it's basically for all the time, for constant use. I mean, they do use them in schools and things, but they're like basic things which are sort of like purposely built to educate. They only have educational programs on them. Giving like a parent giving a kid sort of like a laptop or a tablet, something I don't really like. It's not really. There's not that many advantages to it, really, apart from the fact that they'll just get to grips with technology quicker. So yeah, I'm gonna say bye now anyway. Pretty much all I've wanted to talk about on this video. So I'll catch you guys later. Bye.